So welcome back, guys. So let's get ready to do the process. So these are samples, guys, of holsters that I've made for particular guns that I have. In this process, you're going to mold your gun to whatever particular gun you have. I'll see if I can give you an example. This gun here, this gun holster, is for my 92A1 Beretta. So this is molded to the Beretta. It's used for that use, and so each gun that I do, for the most part, I try to make a holster. It's a hobby of mine. You know, it's like I told you, this is not an exact science. It's not, this is a rudimentary holster. You know, people can buy holsters. You can buy holsters. Yeah, of course you can. So, but this is one of my DIY creative projects. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll purchase a pair of shoes and I'll get them from the thrift store. See, as you see, there's a price tag on them. So this one was $298, and this was week 11. So probably I got this for half price. I didn't even pay that full price for them. But these are leather shoes, and you want to make sure that you get, let's see if I can get it. Got one hand, guys. You want to make sure that you get the leather upper. So made by, natural, let's see. This one is made in China, but the uppers are leather. So the balance of the materials are man-made. So just want to make sure that you have a leather shoe and that it is real leather. So, or you can buy a suede shoe if you want a suede holster. I have an example of those, but I don't have them with me right now. And yeah, so I would prefer that you get sizes, depending on what type of pistol or revolver that you're going to make these for. I usually get the largest size that I can. Anything that's about a size 10 and above. That way you have more material to make these holsters into what they are. So this particular holster here this is a 1911 holster. So it's like I told you guys, it's crude, but it works and it functions really well. It's hard shell. It's a process. I use a similar process to actual holster makers. You can find them on YouTube, and they'll walk you through the process of holster making. And so, after a while, if you make enough of these things, you get used to it. So, when I want to get fancy, I'll get some material like this. This probably came from like a thrift store purse or something that had more of like a alligator or snake feel to it. So if I want to add an onlay, I'll add an onlay to it. I have other types of holsters too, that where, I make them out of plastic, which is, my version of Kydex, where I don't have to pay for Kydex and I just make them, but that's another video. So anyway, guys, this is the beginning of the process. So this is the start. We're not going to be doing very much detail today. All we're going to do is we're going to cut open and show you what to use. Be back. So I'm back, guys. This is the first shoe that I'm going to cut into. It might be an easier one. I might have to do some of this off camera, but I just want to show you what I do. So you want to start here. You want to get to the point where you're close enough to the sole to penetrate, and you just cut around that sole. You don't want to cut up try not to be careful not to cut into the try not to cut into up in here in this areas here, because if you do, then you'll have a shorter holster. I usually cut all the way around because I don't know what my pattern is going to be right now, and I do like I do a pattern. What I'll do is I'll go look at real holsters, do a Google search, and I'll find a holster that I want to kind of emulate, and with the emulation of that holster, I will create a design based on whatever gun that I'm looking to create one for. So these holsters are going to be made for some new guns that I'm going to have an unboxing on, that I purchased during Christmas. See, guys, how that comes apart. So just try your best not to cut up into the user part if you can. That's why I said you got to make sure you have a very sharp blade. You know, be careful. Don't put your fingers next to the blade, and don't don't overcut. If you come up a little bit, you're okay. But see, okay, so that's separated. So, for you guys who are germaphobes or whatnot, this might not be what you want to do. So you separate this is the throwaway. I won't do any video. I have a video where I use these for pellet target practice. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll drill a hole up here at the tip, and I'll put 2 hooks here, what have you, and I'll just use this for swing target practice. That's an idea, guys. If you want to do that, you don't have to. Just be careful, because this is rubber mostly, and if your pellets don't penetrate, they will bounce back on you. Just a note. Okay, guys, so you have a basic gist of what one looks like. I'm going to cut 2 on camera, and then I'm going to close the section out. So primarily, guys, this is your holster formation, this part of the shoe. So what you do with that is you throw a little lace away or whatnot. You don't really need that, if it has a lace. Sometimes I buy shoes that don't have laces. Just depends on what I want to get. Like I say, these are old shoes. I don't pay a whole lot for them. I don't even know. Let's see if the price is written on it. It's like this one, okay? So this one was D9, and it was $4.98. So usually I buy at the thrift store I have, that if the numbers are lesser than whatever the number is, like this might have been a day where it was anything under 13, you get half price. So, I don't spend much on these things. Okay. So when you have a part like this, you don't want to retain, you don't have to retain the symbols and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of take away from your holster. But like, I don't know if I have one. That's one of the reasons why you might see me put an overlay on a piece of this, so I can make it look like what it is. And what I'll do is I'll overlay this piece with some type of other fabric. Sometimes you can just save some of this, or save a piece of the other shoe that you're working on, and you can have an overlay piece of material. And what I do is I'll show you guys the total process, how I make my holes, and then what I sew and what I don't sew. So this part here, guys, you're gonna get a pair of scissors. Once you figure out what your shape is, like this part here would more than likely go. This is the end of it. So what I do is, because this has a harder piece here than the softer piece is at the bottom of your holsters. This part you want kind of stiff. What I'll do is I'll cut across to whatever it is once I decide what my pattern is going to be. And usually this portion right here goes to waste. You don't need the heel part. You just throw that away, because really all you're doing is you're going to be treating this as if it was just one flat piece of leather. So that's the beginning of that. So I'm going to cut the other one, guys, and then I'll put that on camera, so just so that you can see. Be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. So today is the first step of making holsters like these examples that I have. And I've shown you already how to cut into it and what you need to hold on to and what you don't. Let's see what this one brings. See if it's as easy as the other one. So like I said, you start here, guys, or anywhere that you can penetrate, but you have to have a really hard blade. You want to go as close to that sole as you can get, so that you have enough material to use. And it's if you have a good blade, it's easy. As you can see, the cutting process is not that hard. And try to stay as close to that sole as you can. So I never seen anybody do this, guys. There may be some guys that are out there that have done this process, but I got this process because I'm a thrifty type guy, and like I said, I like to do creative projects, DIY projects. So I was one day just looking at the process of holster making, and I was like, you know what, I could probably take a leather shoe and make an interesting holster out of it. And so I did. So that's how I came up with it. Many holsters later. These are all just, I don't sell these or anything. I just basically make them for myself. I like to draw from holsters from time to time with my air pistols and my air revolvers, whatever I'm using. Yeah, see, there you go, guys. So don't worry about it if you're pulling the sole out, or you don't cut the sole. You're not gonna need that part anyway. So I'll just cut it like that. So you just clean all of that out. Like I didn't cut this out, but when I get ready to pull this off, see guys, see that's leather? That's real leather. So you don't have to have this part on here. But since this one here is lined, guys, I usually will keep the liner on it, just to protect my guns. I don't know, like if I have a piece like this, I might re-glue it down. If you have liners on them, it's okay. Or like what I'll do is I will cut and make liners out of materials, cloth, old pants or anything like that, just to protect. And I'll cut it in the shape of whatever gun that I'm using. Make sure that you get some nice sturdy glue, and you want to glue it to this before you start the other processes. So that's it. So as you can see, guys, that's the first step to this process of making holsters out of your shoes. So like I said to you, go to your local thrift store, see if you can't get a deal. The fancier the shoe, the better the look to me. You can, like this is, here is the plain one, and most of the black ones are. So what I did was I had a gray leather shoe. I did an overlay to this, and this is probably, like I said, a purse or something that you can buy from the thrift store with some type of pattern to it, just to make it. I got this from watching one of my YouTube guys that I watch make holsters and things, and he makes exotic holsters and he usually puts things like this on it to make it look more exotic and stuff. Like I said, you can see that I'm not very fancy with what I do. You know, some of the stuff may resemble baseball gloves. It's okay with me, and it's fine. But the same process that I do for making making these things is the same process they do when they make the leather holsters. Somewhat similar. You have to do some variation with these because the leather either has been treated, or it might be a little different than the raw leather, but it still works the same when the final result is. Yeah, this one is my PPKS holster. So this is a smaller holster, so I might, you know, make this holster by buying a shorter or you know, a smaller pair of shoes. This might be a size 8. You just want to have enough. You want to have enough leather to make it wide or whatnot. So and then the process that I'm going to make is one of these guns I'm going to end up making. So you want to keep both. You need both soles. I mean, you need both parts of this, because this is the front part. The other shoe is going to be the back part. So you're going to sew these are end up going to be sewed together. See, that's one shoe side, and this is the other shoe side. So you need both pairs to make a holster the way I make them. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you coming to my channel. If you would, please hit that like button, share it with a friend, hit that notification so you can see the other videos that I'm going to show on this channel. This is Airguns Raider, and as you know, and I do every time I go out, I'm going, and I am out.